Welcome back to another episode of Azrael Reacts. I'm your boy Azrael, and today, you already know, back on this American Indians versus Native Americans, and I'm still getting them RC's comments in my section, and it's crazy that y'all are still leaving them. But that's how y'all feel. That's how y'all feel. It's not gonna stop me. Like I said, I'm not searching for this. That's the crazy part. I'm not searching. I've never once searched for this. The most I ever done was watch a video. That was it. I didn't even like it. I scrolled past. And TikTok has been flooding my page with this type of stuff. So I was like, hey, why not just do a series out of it? But the hate that I'm receiving from doing this series tells me that there's probably something behind this. Because you guys wouldn't hate this much just for someone just watching. That's what's crazy. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into these videos.
So today I wanted to share this beautiful mural of Bonpac, Mexico, of the ancient Maya. These images are unedited, undoctored, and straight from the mural wall. This is what the ancient Maya depicted themselves as. So what you're looking at is a procession of lesser nobles, including musicians and men, wearing elaborate god masks, lined up around the walls against a bright blue background. Above them is a narrow band containing hieroglyphs on one side and images of captives or menial workers on the other. Next is the widest, most impressive panel, in which we have Chuan Muan II, the Lord of Bonpac, presenting his new son and heir to the nobles of his court. These are clearly important personages, sumptuously dressed, each in a different costume, standing in line before their ruler. Each of the two long walls features a separate but similar scene against an orange background. Finally, the vaulted ceiling, which is filled with designs representing the Mayan version of heaven and images of gods. So this is what the ancient Mayan depicted themselves as, melanated people, undoctored. This temple was able to be secured by overgrowth and withstood the test of time. So, yeah, if you've ever had a connection or just like we're interested in Maya, maybe this is why.
I've seen when black people claim that the ancient Hebrews and Jews were black people and Jesus was not a white man. Many white people come across and say, okay, Jesus was not a white man, but he wasn't a black person either, because he was from the Middle East, and therefore, according to them, he must have looked like Arabs. But this is a fallacy. Just because the modern population of a region looks like X doesn't mean that the ancient inhabitants of that region looked also like X. For example, look at Australia. Are white Australians descended from the ancient Aborigines? Or are white Mexicans descended from the ancient Mayans? Of course not. The Middle East is the most melting pot region of the world. There are black, white, brown, Indian-looking and Mongoloid-looking people in this region, all of whom claim to be native and indigenous to this region. And for example, in Arabs, there are black, white, and mixed, the so-called brown Arabs, all of whom claim to be the real Arabs. But which of them is the real Arab? The black one, the white one, or the brown one? The same goes for Iran. There are many different ethnic groups in Iran. There are Mongoloid-looking Turkmens, there are Indian-looking Baluch, there are native blacks, there are white-looking Turks, there are mixed-looking Kurds and Lurs. Which of them is the true Iranian? And unlike what the believers of the Indo-European hoax claim, the white-looking people in this region are not descended from the ancient mythical Indo-Europeans. These people are mostly Turks or descended from Turks. For example, here in Iran, up to 40% of people are Turks, and I don't know how many of them are descended from Turks, meaning are related to Turks. And the most white-looking people of Iran are mostly Turks, but there are also Russian, Georgian, and Armenian people too living in this region. And we all know that Turks are not an indigenous people to this region. They came from southern Russia and the Central Asia in recent centuries, and they cannot be an indigenous people to this region. The ancient inhabitants of the ancient peoples of the Middle East were all different types of black people, different groups of black people. Assyrians were a black people, Persians were a black people, Elamites were a black people, and Arabs, yes, were a black people. That's why you see Assyrians have depicted themselves with curly hair, curly beard, and dreadlocks. That's why you see Persians have depicted themselves with curly hair and curly beard. And even there are many wall paintings found in Susa in which Persians have depicted themselves with black skin, have painted themselves with black skin. So therefore Persians were black people, not a so-called Indo-European. And I believe that Persians, Assyrians, Arabs, and all of the ancient inhabitants of the Middle East were an Ethiopian type of people, the so-called Semitics, an Ethiopian type of people. People like the Somalis, like Ethiopians, like Eritreans, like Djiboutis, like dark-skinned Yemenis. You know, they weren't a white people. Why? Because the temperature here in this city goes up to 50 degrees Celsius in summers with a high intensity and a UV index of 12. White people cannot endure this heat. They cannot tolerate this heat. So they cannot be indigenous to this region. Because we semi-white looking people cannot stand this heat. We cannot go outside too much in summers. But how can white people be indigenous to this region? And I don't say this because I'm racist. As you can see, I'm not a black person, and I look mostly like whites than blacks. I just want to tell the truth that the ancient inhabitants of these regions, from Babylonians, Assyrians, Elamites, Persians, Jews, were all black.
I'm here with you because my viewers wanted me to do a DNA analysis review with you.
Really?
Yeah, because there's been an update. Mine's been updated. So see, mine is 50, or it's actually 52.6 Native American.
Yeah.
But then, check it out, I'm 16% Mongolian.
Must be from your dad's side.
You'll see. Okay, so that's my composition. Then I gotta go to DNA relatives. And this is where they'll have yours at. So did you think that about me? That I gotta be Mongolian or something?
No, I didn't think it'd be that.
So here's yours. It's 51.71% DNA shared. So I have more of your DNA than my dad's. Oh, here we go. Our ancestry composition. So here's you and me. So like I'm 82.6 Native American and you're 89.2. So, but it says you're 57.2% Native American and you're 16.3% Mongolian.
Oh.
You have the Mongolian ancestry.
Mongolian? Is that with Asian?
Yeah, it's over up in the Himalayan mountains.
Oh.
Then again, I think that's what. So yours would probably go up if it's 13.5, which would make you about 70%, 71% native. But then you got the European ancestry, which is the French, 4%. And so you don't have the British and Irish, which means that comes from my dad. Then you got the 1.6% Pakistani.
Oh.
You're a Pakistani Indian. Look at here, even Italian, 1.6% Italian.
Neanderthal.
Yeah, it says Annabelle has more Neanderthal variants than 88% other people. Yo, Neanderthal. Any thoughts about that?
I don't know, gosh. I wonder where I get that from my parents or my grandparents.
Which one?
That Italian.
So your DNA tells the story of who you are and how you're connected to populations around the world. Trace your heritage through centuries and uncover clues about where your ancestors live and when. So I got your French and German from 3 to 5 generations ago.
Oh, Italian. 5.
So that was like your most recent.
Yeah.
The 5 to 8 generations ago, that's where you got the Italian. It's like all of these were like a long time ago. Like that's what your DNA looks like. Like if I had yours, if you still had it on your new phone, then I could look at your traits. Like let's see, some of my traits from my DNA is saying that I'm less likely to be able to match a musical pitch. So I can't sing. Like likely to smell asparagus and odor detection. Okay. Like I have that when I'm at home. Like you don't have that, huh? Like 'cause remember where we smelled that stuff in here and you couldn't smell it? I don't know what you're talking about. But like when I got the gas on at home and nobody in the household smells it except for me. But yeah, it just has all these things like likely little freckling. My freckles and well, you have any thoughts about it?
No, I didn't know that we had a lot of other nationalities in us.
So you're 100% Red Lake, but you're not 100% Native American. Not 100% Ojibwe. I debunked your lies to me.
I asked ChatGPT to make a true representation of what this Olmec would like today based of the artifacts today.
And before they went and covered it up, do you know what 23andMe said I was back in 2016? 100% Native American. So I love this. Y'all can keep writing me think pieces, but y'all can't cover up your tracks quick enough. You came from the cybers came from us. No one's denying that you have your own culture. We're just telling you where it came from. This is hard. This is very hard for many people who have been eating the lies, drinking the Kool-Aid for decades. But if you want to know why all this shit is happening right now, then you need to go back. You need to stop lying to yourselves. And you know what? Every time black people are right about something, y'all call them angry or conspiracists. Stop following the white man's script. That'll help y'all out a lot.
Celebrate this night with me. Although it's not the last time. There's a fire inside of me. I wanna burn for you tonight. Save your soul tonight.
out of history. That's why they say the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, it was. When we can't beat you, we'll write you out of history. We'll change your name. We'll change your title. You're no longer Yamasi. You're now Creek. You're no longer Creek. We went by any other name except for our true identity, our true heritage, our true culture. A people have been written out of history. That is genocide. A people have been taken out of their rightful place. That's genocide. The fact that you have to fight to find out who you are, the fact that you have to go before people who are so historically crippled that when faced with the truth and looking at the truth and looking you in your face and seeing your Native American heritage, they still want to deny it. Because you don't look Asian, because you don't have the long flowing hair. Every time, you cut on the TV, all the Westerns, white men dressing up as Indians.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. You see what I'm saying though? Like there's just more stuff that's just piling on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it's like, I'm not picking sides here. I'm just bringing the videos so that everyone can see them. I would like to hate to stop, I'm not gonna lie. It gets annoying. But they want me to stop bringing the videos. So obviously there's something to it. Like, that's the way I look at it. Y'all wouldn't be so hateful if there wasn't something to it. So, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Y'all can keep doing what you're doing. And my people gonna keep doing what they doing. Because I'm Asriel. This has been another episode of Asriel Reacts. And I'll catch you guys next time. Deuces!